Metalheads, welcome to Graphic Metal, where metal is celebrated with design in mind. This is Metal in Review, the January 2024 edition. It's a review of all the albums that I listened to in a respected month, both good and not so good, along with giving you my personal pick for the best album of the month. FYI, we'll be presenting these based on when they were released, starting with the earliest. So with that, let's get to it. Hollow by Hauntologist, a black metal album released on January 8th. 2024 started off on a really good foot with this strong album that was the first I heard in the new year. Kudos to them for knowing when to just slow things down, to focus on mood building, which is the album's greatest strength. It's mysterious and eerie because it made it so, by balancing the soundscapes and forcing its listeners to be patient. And as a result of that, it builds the tension and makes the outbursts even more intense as a result. This was the I'll hire a paranormal investigator, now please and thank you, album of 2024, the graphic metal rating of 84. Here Comes the Rain by Magnum, a hard rock / heavy metal album released on January 12th. Raise your hand if you want to smile. I get it, they're old, and it sounds old. But those who still miss the campy, fire-burning melodies of classic hard rock / heavy metal, and are looking, honestly, for just a feel-good, emotional pick-me-up, this one is for you. It's yet another solid output for this reliable band who has managed to keep the fire burning after all these years, which is not easy to do, and we salute you for that. It's the Get It While It's Still Hot album of 2024, and graphic metal rating is a 83. Exit Eden by Femmes Fatal. Hopefully I pronunciated that correctly. It's a power symphonic metal album released on January 12th. These beauties may not make you want to love them, but they are worth a summer fling. It's more of the same campy power symphonic metal we have come to expect from this genre, which at this point has kind of gotten a little bit stale. With their looks, they probably will get a little bit more attention than expected, but unless they're able to bring something unique to the table or elevate their game and skill set to reach flawless output, they're not going to be able to capture our love. It is for fans of Nightwish, Epica, Unleash the Arches, the later being one of my most anticipated albums of this year. But this kept me, at least a little entertained until then. It's the Same Day Love Will Find You album of 2024 with a graphic metal rating of 76. The Restoration, Joseph, Part 2 by Neal Morse, a prog rock / metal album released on January 12th. Now this is the Neal Morse that I love. This was a major step up, or as listeners we like to call it, a return to form. For him compared to the last two albums, which I really struggled with for the first time in his solo career. Immediately with Cosmic Mess, our ears are met with, well, not mess, but just a beautiful display of musical wonder. Okay, great. But let's kind of address the elephant in the room, shall we? If you have struggled with Neal's kind of over-the-top, cheesy, and religious-fueled lyrics in the past, you're not going to like this one yet again. Because unless you're into that, you come here in appreciation and admiration for Neal and the members' progressive, just technical skills, attention to details, explorative, expansive library of musical output, and an overall, like, just raw passion and love for what he does. You really cannot teach that kind of passion. It's undeniable. It just happens to be on this occasion, it really spoke to me. On this one, it's more of an emphasis on like classic rock and roll, maybe definitely blues, and in general, a more upbeat personality. The song I Hate My Brothers is an excellent example of this. Now, of course, this being another extensive, exhaustive 5-course meal, not all the songs are going to hit. The second half in general is not nearly as strong as the first half, but still, overall, this is a really strong album. It's the I'm Not Religious Okay album of 2024. Graphic metal rating is an 86. Triple Six Revolution by Lilith Black Lotus, a heavy metal / power metal album released on January 12th. It's your pretty prototypical power metal album. It's interesting. The band that really reminds me of is the band Rage. Also for fans of both Rage and Primal Fear, but definitely Rage. Good riffs, good melodies. Didn't even mind the album cover. It wasn't terrible. It definitely had like an 80s kind of Tron-like vibe to it because of the color scheme. And I'd say it's the Revolution Storm album of 2024 with a graphic metal rating of 82. Ages of Man by Dark Oath, a melodic death metal album released on January 18th. Vocals and muddy production holds this one back a little, but for those who love epic melodic death, it will keep you at least a little bit entertained. Graphic metal rating gives it a 75. Divine Laughter by Cave Sermon. Music sucks, but I freaking love the album name and cover design, so at least it has that going for it. Graphic metal rating of 62. Showdown by Mega Colossus, a heavy metal, power metal album released on January 19th. Really solid. I can't complain. It was decent. Good melodies, good riffs, good balance, typical, average. With that, GrafikMetal score gives it a 69. Expedition 1 by Metalite, a power metal album released on January 17th. It's one of those albums that you listen to and you just kind of scratch your head wondering how the heck this thing got produced, let alone released. I mean, it's embarrassingly bad. I don't know what's worse, the music or the album cover. Either way, take your pick. It's the Please Get Me Off This Train Now album of 2024 with a GrafikMetal rating of a 39. Hell, Fire, and Damnation by Saxon. 2024 is a good year for just old school metalheads with new Priest and Saxon here. The Priest one we're going to get in a little bit. But full disclosure, Saxon is one of the rare occasions of like an icon band that I've always struggled with. Them and Scorpions. I've never really been able to get into them. I don't really understand the appeal to them, but that's just me. So I find it really hard to kind of review and grade their latest because, quite frankly, it's really simple. Like if you are a big fan of Saxon, then I'm sure you are gonna enjoy the heck out of this and find it another solid record in their now deep catalog. But if you're like me and you just never really got into them, then I would steer clear. It's not worth it to me. GrafikMetal rating is a 64. Traverse the Bealach by Sgàile, a prog/post/black metal album released on January 19th. The one-man project by Tony Dunn via Sgàile is an absolutely beautiful experience to allow your mind, your body, and your ears to take you on a quest. If Volbeat decided to go just full on black post prog metal, it might sound like this. You can also easily hear his experiences touring with Sire, another incredibly powerful atmospheric prog metal artist, with his kind of larger than life atmospheric character and world building energy brought to life in a more kind of black proggy delivery compared to say Sire's melodic death black metal centerpiece. But where Dunn really shines is taking that essence and then fusing it with other key elements like groove and breakdowns and lighthearted melodies and even blues from other inspired acts like Tool and Devin Townsend. This is key, because even I would be the first to proclaim my love for acts like Sire and Hellripper, and not to mention the popularity going on right now with Black Braid. But Dunn takes this scene to new heights because these additions allow it to never ever feel stale throughout, beginning, middle, or end, which is valuable for longer songs. And it also just really does feel like a full body experience, mind, body, and spirit. Because of this, and because of the ambitious effort, gonna call this one the Journey to Now, or the album that makes you feel whole inside album, and is easily the album of the month of January 2024 by far. Graphic Metal rating gives it a 93. Bury Me Here by Fugit, a post-black metal album released on January 19th. Fuck it! I'm pretty sure that you actually pronunciate it as Fugit, but come on, you gotta have a little bit of fun. Atmospheric as hell, a bit off kilter, and quite frankly uncomfortable, but it really works for what it's trying to do. It's not going to be for everyone, but I do think it's a cup of coffee worth tasting. Just give it a chance. Because of the album cover, I'm going to call this one the Blood in White album of 2024 with a Graphic Metal rating of 82. And that was the list. That was what I heard, things I liked and things I didn't like from the month of January 2024 on to February next. Excited about that, and excited to release the work on the designs and release that, so this way you can enjoy and support the bands. Please support the bands. Support the channel if you want to. But yeah, hope you have a good one. Keep on rocking. Cheers.